But so for our final speaker before the elections, if you've noticed that there's been a whole lot more Solar Oregon events in the last year. There's been a whole lot more members in the last year, and that's really all thanks to Solar Oregon's first employee for a long time, Joe Wachunas. So Joe, we're going to welcome you to come talk about what happened in 2019 and what is going forward in 2020. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. Thanks, Margaret. Is it too echoey, too boomy? Sound okay? Thank you guys so much for being out here tonight. I was going to start saying it's so good to be with everybody on our 40th birthday party. But I think we just saw from Doug's presentation that we're only 38. We started in 1981. It was great, yeah, I was born. So this is great. We can have another 40th birthday party in 2 years. So that's super exciting. But thank you all for being part of this community, and thank you for our initial speakers who are telling us, who told us so much what's going on in our region, and then thank you for our history. Thank you for creating this organization and giving it such a long life. And thank you to our past board. If you've ever been a board member of Solar Oregon, can you please raise your hand? Thank you. Yeah, great. That's amazing. Thank you to our past board. Thank you to our present board. If you are currently a board member or about to become a board member tonight, can you please raise your hand and stand up, look around the room. This guy right here is being a little shy. So thank you to our current board. And thank you to, in an organization that's 40 years old, 38 years old, you're going to have a lot of cycles and ups and downs, as Doug was talking about, with the solar coaster that we're talking about. And this most recent board, helped Solar Oregon come back from a difficult time a couple years ago. And we owe so much to this board for keeping this organization alive and strong. And so 2019 was I'm going to give a little state of the organization for 2019 and then talk about what we're hoping to do in 2020. And 2019 was a rebuilding year. We were an all-volunteer board at the beginning of the year, and we're seeing the challenges of our time. One of them, which is climate change. Another one, the lack of equity and clean energy. And so how could we rebuild from an organization that was recovering from a difficult period? Well, we started out with events, and I'll be comparing a little bit of 2018's metrics to 2019's. So we can kind of see how we're doing. So in 2018, we had 7 events, pretty good. 2019, we've done 24. So it's been a great increase. This is from Milwaukee. We did a Basics of Solar. Our board member, Bruce, presented on that in February. Our attendance in 2018 was 350, and then in 2019, we had 1,400 people attend our event. So we had a great impact. As we were rebuilding this year, we sought to look to others to help us find our voice and to learn from others. So we partnered with 9 organizations in 2018. In 2019, we partnered with 33 amazing organizations, and we saw 5 of them tonight. This was from January, where we partnered with Verde and Community Energy Project, and we were at the Portland Mercado. We are a member-based organization, and while we were kind of recovering from a difficult time, we didn't have the bandwidth to pursue membership. And so 2018, we just had 6 members sign up. In 2019, we've had 283 members. So thank you. If you are a member of Solar Oregon, can you please raise your hand? Thank you to members. You keep us strong. Being a member of Solar Oregon is being part of a clean energy community. We have passionate members who are solar ambassadors, clean energy ambassadors, and so if you haven't become a member yet, we would love for you to become a member. You can see over there, Jason over there can sign you up for membership. It's a great way to get involved, and there's tons of perks like free coming to our event, that free. And this was a members only event we did on the wind turbine building for Solstice. We also want to thank our business members. 2018 we had 15, we're up over 45, and we couldn't do it without our individual business members. In 2019, we mostly didn't have grant funding, which had been a major source of income. So these, our individual and business members really stepped up to provide the funds for us to do our work. And so we thank our sponsors for tonight and our business members. If you're a business member of Solar Oregon, could you raise your hand? Those of you who know who you are, there are some in this room, but they're being too shy, like Mark Farrell back there. Okay, financials 2018 was good. I just didn't have the numbers, so I've got a question mark. I'm going to change that. 2019, we increased our savings by 72%, and we covered current expenses by 32%. So, yeah, so we tightened our belt this year, so we're doing responsible things with our members' money. Let's see here. We thought one strategy we had as a small organization was it was the power of the pen. How can we get ideas out there? So we increased our newsletters from 2018 from 9 to 12. And we also started an online magazine where we're creating original content and we're publishing other content. You might have seen one come out Tuesday. And our stories got picked up by Blog Clean Technica and by Reliving Journal, who's here tonight. So we want to continue this, and we love publishing other people and getting thoughts out there. Our distribution list went up 20% this year, and you can see this gentleman is drowning in Solar Oregon emails. We apologize for the frequency of our emails, but notwithstanding the frequency of our emails, they're still growing, our distribution list. And then we had this exciting thing happen this year where we went from 0 media mentions to 10. And this was a surprise for us this year and really exciting. For example, our Solar Winery Tour in May, by the way, back table. Now, the Solar Winery Tour in May was in OPB, and then we had a hang drying event that was also on OPB. My dream came true. We did a hang drying event in August, and I was filmed. I've been a long, passionate supporter of hang drying. I was filmed hanging my undies on the nightly news. And then we were on KGW's podcast. That was really cool. We were in the Oregonian about our Goal Zero Homes tour. We were on Coin as well, and KGW for that tour as well. So we really, for a small organization, we really got our message out to the local community. So that was a really great piece. And then we had 0 staff last year, and we have 2 currently. So that's a sign of improvement. We have the great Zach Snyder, who's leading up our business membership. He's in the back. He had an amazing Goal Zero Home tour this year, and he's wearing a ton of hats. So if you see Zach back there, pat him on the shoulder. And then we also have this weird guy in a sun costume. My wife told me not to put that picture in there, by the way. Okay. One thing. So we've been working hard this year and trying to rebuild. And the other thing that we've been kind of discovering and practicing that we're inspired by in our own small way is this quote by Andrew Young. We change history through finding one thing that can capture the imagination of the world. This to me says, you can do all the work, and you need to do all the work to make your organization healthy, but you also have to add the element of imagination and creativity. And in our own, small microscopic way this year, we saw that in a lot of things. And one thing I want to particularly call out was our Hang Dry for Climate event this year. We got inspiration from Cheryl, the African American Alliance for Home Ownership, as well as Community Energy Project. And we put together this event where people hung dry their clothes, as John Reynolds said, the original solar energy, and posted pictures about it, attracted media attention. We had over 70 people posting pictures about it. And so it was that idea of creativity that really we saw the power of it. Okay, so it's been a pretty good year. There we go. But, we're not going to sit here and pat ourselves on the back a lot. We are in, the larger theme right now is a time of challenge. And we're seeing the effects of climate change everywhere. We're also seeing solar energy and clean energy is not at all equitable. And we're seeing that the percentage of electricity, you see Doug's slides, you see how far we've come in 40 years, 38 years. But we're still only at 1.42% in Oregon. And California's at like 17%. So there's, we're excited about this year, but there's still a ton of work to do. So 2020 is that same push: hard work towards stability, and then combining it with imagination. We did a big strategic planning process this year where we interviewed board, staff, led by some amazing volunteers. And in our strategic plan, these are some of the buckets of what the work that we'll be doing in 2020. So we're going to double down on what we've always done, what Doug and John brought to this organization and all the past board members, this solar education. We're excited to be partnering with Energy Trust for the first time in a couple years, and we're going to be delivering solar education throughout the state of Oregon in 2020. We're going to be doubling or tripling the amount we did this year, and we're going to be getting outside of the Portland metro area, which is super exciting. And there's so much more to solar. There's batteries, there's community solar, so there's a lot to talk about. In addition to our solar education, we are talking about electrification and the future of clean energy. You know, there's a lot of exciting movement about electricity being the quickest path to zero carbon. And we had an event during Sustainable Building Week in this room with two other amazing partners. And we're part of this coalition that's talking about our electrified future. So this is going to be an area of education. Zach is going to be leading up an area of education on community empowerment through energy independence. And so it's going to be how communities can benefit, across the spectrum, can benefit from the amazing benefits of clean energy. And finally, we're going to be turning and pivoting towards equity. We are forming an equity group on our board. We're coming up with our equity statement by the end of Q2. We're going to be partnering with local organizations to see how we can bridge this divide between those who have clean energy and those who don't. And this is going to be a top focus for this year. Yeah. That's definitely and then, one more thing, community. So we identified community, you all, as part of our, as part of something that we do, bringing people together. So in community next year, we're going to be working with the Energy Trust on solarized programs. This is bulk purchasing for solar in Milwaukee and Hood River. We're going to be working more on our Goal Zero, building on this tour where we had 300 people this year, and we're going to be educating on Goal Zero as well. And of course, our 2020 Solar Winery Tour. We've already got the 3 wineries identified. It's going to be on May 2nd, Tory Moore, Adelsheim, and Alexandria. We have some representatives from Alexandria here tonight, which we're super excited about. This is our 8th annual Solar Winery Tour. It's the best deal in town. Members pay $80 for the Solar Winery Tour, and that's like free food, drink, and so sign up with Jason in the back. He's waving at you right now. Okay. And of course, we're going to push our organizational stability. We're going to continue to tighten our belts. We're growing our board, and we're investing what we can in our programs and staff. So through this all, we are going to be looking for that key of creativity that expands our message beyond the small organization that we are. How can we tap into that again this year? How can we tap into that creativity that Andrew Young tapped into, and that was so powerful for other movements in the past? So we're excited to have you as part of this journey. We're excited to see what 2020 is, and we know we've got a lot of work to do. Thank you for being here tonight. Thanks for coming out, and yes, please give yourself a round of applause for being here. Thanks.